Hey, how y'all doing out there? I got some old crazy news for y'all. People on YouTube making up all different types of silly rumors just to get some views. The latest rumor is Angie Stone was not only involved with the man driving the Sprinter van, but she was also involved with the truck driver that ran into her. And when the van driver seen Angie Stone wave at the truck driver, he got jealous and ran into the truck. And when the truck driver realized what just had happened, he did a U-turn in the 18-wheeler, came back and hit Angie Stone while she was on the side of the road with the white lady. That's the only way it makes sense to people out there. Cause why was the van driver driving so fast and ran into the truck? They saying it was out of jealousy. And why would the truck come back after initially hitting the van just to hit Angie Stone one more again? And make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification button too. Without further ado, let's get into this video.
Y'all, the more we find out about the Angie Stone case, the more it starts to look like there is a very high level of cover-up going on here. Because there are a lot of things happening in the case that don't make a shred of sense. Y'all know how they've been telling us that she passed away when the van that she and the rest of her team were in flipped over, but new eyewitnesses are now coming forward to claim that Angie did not pass away from the initial crash, but from the van that rammed into her after she was pulled out from the crash. But that's not all. It turns out that Angie was trying to get out of the van before it crashed. So does this mean that she knew that something was wrong? And where on earth is the truck driver who rammed into her? This drama is insanely shady, so let's break it down. On March 1st, 2025, Angie and her crew were heading back from a Mardi Gras concert in Alabama, cruising down the highway in a Sprinter van. They'd been in town working on a new project, filming in the area, but decided to take a break to soak in the celebration. It was meant to be a quick escape, a little fun before diving back into work. The ride started off like any other, smooth and uneventful, until everything went sideways, literally. Out of nowhere, the van lost control and flipped over. All 9 passengers were scared, but miraculously, no one was critically hurt. Just as they were trying to process what had just happened and reached out for help, the situation took an even darker turn.
Now they claiming the van driver saw Angie Stone wave at the truck driver, got jealous and ran into the truck. Then the truck driver got mad because Angie Stone was with the van driver, did a U-turn, came back and hit Angie Stone when that white lady pulled her out the van. Now I don't believe none of this, but that's the rumor that's going around on YouTube.
A semi-truck barreling down the highway at full speed suddenly slammed into the wrecked Sprinter, crushing it on impact. The sheer force of the collision was catastrophic, and unfortunately, Angie didn't survive. She was the only one who lost her life that night, a heartbreaking reality that left her team in shock and her loved ones completely shattered. At first, it seemed like nothing more than a terrible accident, a devastating case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But as the days passed, people couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The more they thought about it, the more the details didn't add up. How did the truck not see the wreckage? Why was it moving so fast in an area where traffic had likely slowed? And why was Angie the only one who didn't make it? Questions turned into theories, and before long, whispers of suspicion started spreading. What started as a tragic accident began to feel like something much more complicated. Then someone who had been in the van that night came forward with a surprising twist. The woman, Shady Murphy, revealed that the driver of the Sprinter had been speeding. Shady claimed that Angie told him to slow down, but instead of listening, he sped up, and moments later, the van lost control.
He was mad. He was jealous. He was in a rage. He was in love with Angie Stone. People got all different types of accounts. They saying that while everybody else was comatose, he reached back there and choked Angie to death. Now, I don't know how true that is, but people sure out here talking.
Flipped and set off a chain of events that would end in tragedy. According to reports, Shady Murphy, who was one of the 8 people in the van with Angie Stone, expressed gratitude on her Facebook page. "We are blessed to be alive." She credits Angie Stone's calm demeanor during the ordeal, alleging the van driver's extremely fast driving caused Angie Stone to request he slow down, but he failed to do so, resulting in the van flipping 3 times before being struck by an 18-wheeler and claiming the life of Angie Stone. With this new revelation, what initially seemed like an unfortunate accident accident now felt far more suspicious. Was this truly just a case of reckless driving gone wrong, or was there something deeper at play? As more people started asking questions, theories began swirling, and soon the mystery surrounding Angie's death only grew darker. Then out of nowhere, a video started making the rounds, and it changed everything. A woman appeared on camera claiming she was the one who had stopped to help Angie. According to her, she and her daughter had been driving down the highway when they spotted the overturned van on the side of the road. Something in her gut told her to stop and check it out, so she pulled over to...
So out of all the people on the highway, her and her daughter, the only people to stop to see what was going on. The police wasn't called to the scene. I'm pretty sure it was a traffic jam with a whole bunch of people backed up looking to see what's going on, especially in the South. Somebody could get pulled over by the police and the traffic gonna slow all the way down because people want to see what's going on. You mean to tell me only one person hopped out to see what was going on? And how can another truck come by and hit Angie at top speed after an accident? I ain't never seen somebody get in an accident and there don't be no traffic afterward, especially on the expressway.
To see if anyone needed help. As she got closer, she could hear people screaming, panicked and injured, but alive. And among them was Angie, who was still breathing.
Were on, so we slowed down some, and that's when I noticed there was an overturned vehicle in the fast lane. And it looked like it just happened. I pulled over and put my flashers on, and I told my daughter to stay in the car. And I ran over, it was a van, and I ran over, and there were so many people in this van, and they were just trying to get out. And I asked if they'd called the cops, and they said, we're just trying to get out. And they were helping this woman out off the side of the van, and I grabbed her hand and I helped her get down, and she seemed out of it, and I was holding her hand and she was wobbling around.
She managed to pull Angie out of the van, and for a brief moment it felt like there was hope. Angie was hurt but alive, and they were trying to figure out their next move, how to get help, how to keep everyone safe. But before they could even think of a plan, the woman felt something rush past her. In an instant, everything changed. Out of nowhere, a massive semi-truck, almost as if it had materialized from thin air, came barreling toward them. Before she could react,
that motherfucker did a U-turn, came back, and ran Angie Stone over out of jealousy. That's what they saying out here in the streets. Now, you know your feelings hurt when you do a U-turn in the 18-wheeler and come back and hit somebody again.
it crashed straight into Angie. And just like that, she was gone.
Down. And then the next thing I know, I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something not ran over me, but brushed over me. Like something just swiped over my body. And I got up and I could hear screaming, and I just focused.
He made sure he missed the white lady. He made sure he had a hell of an aim straight for Angie. He don't want no lawsuit with this woman right here. He swerved around her ass. He angled that truck just enough so he can get Angie and Angie alone.
Stand on one screaming, and it was my daughter. And all I could do was run across the highway and tell her to get back.
This was strange on so many levels. Think about it. Angie survived the initial crash, was pulled to safety, and then mere moments later was struck again. The odds of that happening naturally are not adding up. The math is not mathing. And the more details that emerge, the more it feels like this wasn't just some bizarre, tragic accident. Something about this entire situation isn't sitting right. Oh, but that's not all. The driver of the truck that ran into Angie has also been revealed to have gone missing. And according to one source, nobody can reach him. The source said, "Howdy, I used to work at the same trucking company as the fellow who ran into the Sprinter van that hit Miss Stone while she was being tended to on the side of the road. She was thrown a few yards due to the impact. I don't think he is going to return to work, honestly. This thing has tormented him, and he's not responding to the company's texts or phone calls. My wife reached out to his wife to offer support after we learned he turned in the rig and left.
It don't work like that. They gonna drug test you. They gonna bring you in, ask you all types of questions. Lawyers gonna be involved. You just can't up and leave the company and just go on your way after getting in the accident. They gonna do every test known to man, forensics. They gonna check the truck. They got cameras in the truck. How he just gonna up and leave?
Former boss says his explanation was that he came upon the wreck too fast to make an adjustment to dodge the wreck. As I look at all the details that I have at my disposal, something just doesn't sound right about this. I'm surprised he hadn't been drinking because there is an extensive history of that. Well, I'm not acting as if I'm Perry Mason with the wherewithal to solve a case, just thought I'd reach out. What's more, reports also have it that the driver's route from Mobile to Birmingham didn't necessitate a stop near mile marker 162 unless detoured or directed. FMCSA data shows no mechanical issues reported on the Freightliner prior to March 1.
They said that man saw Angie in the van with that other man and lost his mind because they were supposed to have a thing back in the day. And that's cool if you used to mess with somebody, but what you doing with that man now? They said he had a criminal record. He ain't had no business driving, no way. Angie got him a job. And this other man, he's CDL certified. If he could drive an 18-wheeler, he could definitely drive a Sprinter van, but she'd rather be rolling with this criminal.
So it says, do you know they're saying that Angie and the bus driver were involved and that she knew about his past transgressions with the law and also was aware of his horrendous DRUG and driving record. But
these are rumors, and I hate the fact they trying to put these allegations on Angie's name, but the math ain't mathing. People got a right to come up with all these allegations because we ain't got no straight story yet.
So what exactly was that truck driver doing on that route in the first place? And more importantly, why has he completely disappeared? Nobody seems to know where he is, and that alone is setting off alarm bells. If this was just an accident, why would he go into hiding? At this point, it's feeling less like a tragic coincidence and more like a full-blown cover-up. There are too many unanswered questions, too many details that don't make sense, and not nearly enough transparency. Fans are demanding answers, but all they're getting is silence. Was Angie's death truly just an unfortunate accident, or is there something much bigger, much darker at play? And the real question is, will we ever actually get the truth, or is this one of those cases that will remain a mystery forever? Fans commented, R.I.P. Angie Stone, very suspicious death. I'm hurt to learn she survived the initial crash. Wasn't even a crash. The van she was in toppled over into the median and was getting out and helped by another woman, only for a semi to cross the median and run over her. Y'all don't find Angie Stone death suspicious? I wonder how much they are paying the guy driving the truck that plowed into her vehicle. Wasn't she going after them Jews for her catalog? And what makes Angie Stone's passing even more sad is that she was speaking out about injustices in the music industry. And by sad, I mean super suspicious. There's a lot that just doesn't add up here. The speeding van, the driver ignoring Angie when she told him to slow down, the fact that she survived the initial crash only to be struck again moments later, and now the truck driver has vanished. It's all looking real suspicious. But do y'all really think Angie was taken out on purpose, or is this just one of those situations where people are connecting dots that aren't really there? Are we looking at a tragic freak accident, or is there something much deeper going on?
I don't like the way they trying to paint Angie Stone like she was some type of Jezebel or something. Y'all ain't never seen her in no video with her legs gapped open and nothing. They making it seem like brothers walking down the street having conversations about how they smashed that last night. Like she wasn't 60-something years old when she passed away. Rest in peace to Angie Stone. Hopefully people will quit spreading these dumb rumors because it's getting ridiculous. I understand it's a hot topic and everybody trying to chime in and say what they got to say about it. And as fans, people got the right to speak on it. Don't get it twisted. There's a lot of people that love Angie Stone and want to know what's going on, but all this talk about her sleeping with the van driver. Now they talking about she was sleeping with the truck driver. They even said she the reason why D'Angelo got hooked on drugs and alcohol. They've been saying a lot of stuff about her when she was alive, and it's sad to see people still throwing dirt on her name, even though she passed away, man. Y'all got to let me know how y'all feel about these silly rumors in the comment section, man. Make sure y'all do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel too. For all y'all out there leaving them comments, I got to let y'all know. Y'all appreciate it like Tupac Mama. Make sure y'all do the same thing on this video. All y'all ladies out there, I see y'all leaving them comments. All my brothers out there, thank y'all for showing another brother some love. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to be reading the comments and I'm going to be liking and hearting them as well. So make sure y'all do that for me. And one more thing, subscribe to my channel if that's what you want.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like,